Aburu, Aboy Shishay. I hope everybody's well. I hope everybody is well. Thank you for joining us. Um, I hope everybody is well.
Hey, is it Love Buckles? Ato Suri
Give me one more second. Go ahead and introduce yourself
Woman.
again, Nifa.
Who am I?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't
I'm
know.
special. Well, okay. So I wanted to, while I was sitting here watching, being amazed at all of the work that was being done here, with all of this technical stuff that was happening. I'm just so amazed. Okay, it doesn't take long. It doesn't take much. Well,
Ashe.
welcome you guys. We're a little bit tardy. It's 3:14, and we generally try to have ourselves started by 3 o'clock. But we got some new stuff happening. I'm excited about it. Today is our second episode for Me Mama Monday.
Is it I say it? Cause I was telling I can't so actually our third.
What has it? Because we did the first one the first time.
Yep, last year.
Last year. Okay, so it's the second episode for this year.
Ashe.
Ashe. Okay then. So this is Me Mama Monday with Baba Ona.
If I be like it.
I know
Yep.
that part.
Okay, so no, but who are you?
I am already. This is my page. I'm
okay.
Mama Somebody.
Well, there might be some people that don't know who you are.
There is truth to that. Okay. The sound is low. So today's episode, can I get to this part?
No. I don't know. It don't look like you can. That's why I said no.
You're just
That's why I
messing
said
me
yeah.
up here. I'm trying to. It's not okay. Okay. I'm gonna try this again. Okay. So today's episode is what is it? Spiritual entitlement.
Okay.
And you don't owe nobody your energy.
You don't owe no. You don't owe nobody nothing. No energy. Nothing.
So let me just say this now. Everybody wants your energy, especially if you're a good one who does good prayer. You're gonna have some studio today. Isn't that funny?
I shall.
Shell. So you don't owe everybody your energy. You don't owe everybody your prayers. You do not owe everybody your presence. That door is locked. And some of us have a hard time um, not lending our energies out to people. And so today's show is basically about that. People would like to take up your time. Setting boundaries is what we need to do. But many of us who are spiritualists, we have a heart to share and to give. Hey, y'all. Hey, we have some guests in. Um, and many people call with crisis. Their crisis has to be your crisis. And so we have to learn how to hold space when we need to hold space, if we have that time and are available, or if we do not. A lot of people feel that they are entitled to your time and space. Now, what is he? What is you doing?
I like the vase.
Oh, it's nice.
Yes, you can see the contrast between my face.
What is he doing?
Don't mind me. Don't mind me.
I was giving my spiel.
I know.
And
I wasn't talking. I was just moving something.
It was going on.
Okay. I'm sorry. That's not Babalawish. That's not Babalaos.
Oh my God, from Zion.
I'm sorry.
I don't even know what we talking about.
We're talking about holding back our energy.
Absolutely.
That we don't owe it to nobody.
We don't owe you nothing. Well, within reason.
Within reason.
I was gonna say a cuss word, but I guess I won't.
You can.
I can.
Yeah,
Not
I think
too many though.
yeah, we don't have a bleep button.
We don't have a bleep.
No.
But we got the slap button.
Yeah,
we
so
tried that last
if you say
time.
2 cuss words back to back, you get slapped.
Slap.
How about that?
Okay.
Instead of 2 chops at the throat.
Okay.
It's two slaps in the air.
Okay. Go ahead. Slap.
Okay.
I couldn't hear it though.
Oh yeah, turn your phone up.
I don't want to.
I can hear it. You want that? You want that? You want these?
No.
It's red as my taboo.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just playing.
All right then. Someone said, what's in there? Someone said, hey, Baba. Oh, now that's gonna mess with me, sir.
That's not me.
Okay. That's better. Now I can't hear
I told you it wasn't me. It was my phone.
Gigi said, hey, Gigi.
So
you heard it.
I am.
You can do.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Okay, we got sound effects in the house.
I am Oluwola Tona Ifabileke. Oluwa of Ile Idingbe. I am.
Who are you?
Egungun priest. Agbog Maritiwo.
Agbog
Maritiwo.
Maritiwo.
And then I know you got the last part.
You
see, I got the last part. I'm an Egbe priest. Akika Shege. I'm a Batala priest. Epo Orisha Epa. Oluwa Epa. And then I'm Osun priest. Ore yeah. Ologboni. Initiated to Ogboni. What else? I'm an Ibeji. I'm a Cancer. I like walks in the park.
Is Child. Yeah.
You know, not when it's too hot. I like picnics.
Picnics in the park.
I like picnics. I like blue skies. I like tulips, roses.
Oh my Lord.
Carnations.
All the flowers.
Yeah.
All of them. Just say all of them.
I like all the flowers.
Okay.
Ashe.
Oh.
So, can I ask you a question? No. You said no.
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't say no. Don't say no.
Okay. What's the question?
Give me an example, please. Will you give me an example of I'm trying to form my question, but give me an example of
don't be looking at my notes.
I'm not. I'm trying to remember spiritual entitlement.
Okay, where do you think the sense of spiritual entitlement comes from?
Well, no. Can you give me an example first? Yeah. Give me 3.
Would you just one?
Because you said yeah.
I mean,
you got
one. Okay. So some people forget that Babalaos, Yanifas, priests, Tatas, Hugans, and the like forget that they're real people and have real lives, and that
we on a live. That's not what you meant.
That's not what I meant.
Okay, go ahead.
What the heck? Okay.
You said real lives.
Real lives.
Real love. I'm searching for a real love.
I gotta go back.
Yeah, they forget that we have real lives.
Real lives, and that we have. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it. That we have real lives, and that we have things that we attend to, and people tend to, without us setting boundaries, just jump in and snag or take our energy and assume that we have time to talk to them, or assume that we don't have anything else to do but talk to them. That's my my thing. They assume that your time is not important. Whatever it is that they need is the most important thing at that very moment. And if you don't give them what it is they need, then they have a problem with you, an issue with you. And you this, you whatever. So that's what happened. What had happened? Our engineer, what's happening? Engineer, oh, keep going. She just said keep going. Just do it again. Get the direction.
Keep rolling, yeah.
Keep rolling.
Episode 2.
Episode,
Take
take
1,000. Take 1,000. like when y'all gonna get it right?
So
I say.
Okay.
What about like services?
Oh, you mean when people want to steal energy?
They want to pay for services.
Don't touch me.
Oh, sorry. Draw back a nub. I know.
Yeah, people think like your parents, like your family and stuff. They want to discount, or they want to take your time, or they want to make an appointment for one thing, but then they're gonna ask you 3, 5, 7 things. Kind of like when folks will need a ride. Can I get a ride? And then you take them one place, and then they tell you 7 other places they need to go.
I've done that before.
I have too. That's what I know.
I've done that before.
But that's the kind of thing I've had people to actually steal.
Wow.
Steal time, steal money.
Property.
Yeah. And so people don't consider other people, because we are all people in this.
I got one more question.
Oh, okay.
So what about would someone says, "Oh, it's in my bloodline, I can do it," or I don't have to initiate, or I don't need any training? Is that spiritual entitlement too?
Yeah, absolutely. Because just because you have been called spiritually does not negate that there are proper protocols in the earth.
Hallelujah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Glory.
I shade.
Go ahead. Hit the clap.
Look, okay. Okay. Look. Yeah. So that's a part of it too, then, right? So we got. Not only do we have people like stealing time, we have people that have a sense of entitlement based on blood, right? And no formal training. And people that don't want to repay goodness with goodness. They'll, in a sense, repay goodness with evil.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So those some pretty kind of like strong issues. Yeah. So how much training have you had?
How much time we got?
Oh Lord.
Did I just?
I think my Luo calling. I think my Luo calling. Our Luo. Luo. Leka. I
don't know.
Never mind. So,
how much training have I had?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I have been at this spiritual stuff. Okay, so I'm going to put it all together.
I wish you would.
Dang.
Because some of it you need to clearly articulate so that people understand clearly what it takes to be you, right? Because it's not an easy thing.
No, it's not easy being me. It's not easy being you. Right?
Yes.
It ain't easy being you.
But I think the training, you don't have to tell everything, but of course, you grew up with it, but when you were at an age when you were actively, I guess, learning, and you were aware how
okay. So that happened. So, as many of us who are diasporic Africans in the United States, we grew up in so we grew up in Christianity. I did, okay, and I come from a long line of Christians. My father's side, of course, is where the ministry and ministers are. My great-grandmother was one of the founding members of our Pentecostal church. And so, following my family in the way of ministry, I've been doing ministerial, which this is a position that I have as Mama Somebody, as a ministerial position, because I have parishioners, so to speak, or congregants. A parish.
Omoawo.
I'm Omoawo.
Like you have.
I have Omoawo. I have Awos.
Or
Omoawo.
Because you would be the Awo.
Absolutely. Child, the Awo. Yeah. Got it. I'm learning. See, you
I just want, yeah, I just want to understand,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it's important to understand that the elder and the other position, because at a time you were Omar. Well, you just said it, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you were younger, you came from a line,
Mm-hmm.
so you were Omar
Mm-hmm.
first,
First. Mm-hmm.
and so now because of all your
Training.
training and expertise,
Yeah.
even some of your initiation,
Absolutely.
right? It still it makes you owl or
Our.
elder
Mm-hmm.
leader,
Yeah.
but me, you, Ifakai Sola, you know,
Mm-hmm.
we all are Omar will still the same.
Absolutely.
So, but continue.
Absolutely. No, I agree with that. We are. It's because we have someone accountability, hierarchy, and accountability. Um, but I have been in this in spirituality a long time. I was ordained a minister 27 years ago because I'm older now, and
Okay.
so 27 years is a long time. Almost 30 years of service just in Christianity alone. And in that respect, I was a pastor, an evangelist, a prophetess, an apostle, in my own ministry, blah, blah, blah. And then outside of that, once I did leave, I had my own spiritual system, spirituality that I practiced, and I had students then. So even with that, I was in it for 10 more years. So we're looking at almost 40 years of
Mm,
service.
I
And so
see.
now in five, I've been, yeah,
Yes, ma'am. So I don't even get me started because I know there's
that's 40,
so much. Yeah, that's
41.
and you just getting better.
Hey, glory. Yes, I am.
I'm saying I'm not.
I
I
am.
know.
I'm getting better. I'm
You know,
getting older and better. That's just what's
like
supposed to
wine,
happen.
wine.
Like fine wine.
It's not like
Not
booze
like,
wine. Night
no,
train.
Mag Dog
Oh, yeah,
2020.
yeah, yeah. Strawberry on the hill.
Strawberry Hill.
Strawberry banana.
Yeah.
I say.
You want to reminisce about going to the
Yeah,
hood.
oh yeah.
I lived in the hood,
Yeah,
so
me
that
too.
stuff is in the stove
Me
right
too.
now.
Yeah.
Go
I say,
ahead.
okay.
So I've been there. I've been there a while. So what you gonna say? Like, I've been here in five for a year
But I'm gonna say formally,
formally.
it's a little bit longer than that.
Yeah.
But a lot of the practices that you already have, I'm gonna say that's Ola
Definitely.
Damari, Eli Damari
Yeah.
created
Definitely.
everything. So even if you practice some of those things outside of what we call traditional Ifa,
Yeah.
all the ewe,
Mm-hmm.
the herbs that you have,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
all Babalaos are herbalists.
I told somebody that, and they talked about me.
No, no, they should have talked well about you.
No.
So all Babalao are herbalists.
Uh-huh.
So in Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
when they asked me, even at the offices or whatever, the city government, federal government, local government, I'm listed as a herbalist. That's what a Babalao is. So,
Mm-hmm.
so you as an Ianifa, you're the same thing because that's what we utilize first.
Absolutely.
Or we take that into consideration when we're coming up with our prescriptions and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Which is why, um, even though I looked at it differently as a hoodoo practitioner, the root worker, a lot of the um, basic foundational movements are similar.
I say,
And so I've been doing that part for a while.
I say.
I'm very familiar with plants.
I'm trying to tap into it. You
Tap,
know what
tap,
I mean?
tap
You
in.
know what I mean? Like when y'all come to Charlotte, Ianifa,
Yep.
Ifa Tomi Lola,
If I told me Lola.
Ifa Bileke,
Yep. Yep. That's me.
from the Latona House,
Mm-hmm.
Shugbo,
For
Osun
sure.
State,
Mm-hmm.
um, Ashe.
Ashe.
So she not gonna let you feel spiritually entitled. No
I'm
one
learning
is.
to set boundaries.
You have to set boundaries.
Even with my children.
Ben, ooh, that's a hard one.
Oh, Lord. We both felt it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like, chill. So people. So I think it's important to say, right, because you were talking about your experience.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to understand, right? This is one of the ways that we receive ashe through experience.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be taught the thing, right? There's different ways, right? You can, Mama Sunflower can be like, "Come on, Baba, let me come over here and show you these herbs.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you how to do this. Let me show you what this does. Let me show you what that does."
Mm-hmm.
So through that, I receive ashe.
Absolutely.
Right? So there's also initiations that we have, right? And the initiations open the door for us to be able to receive and understand certain ashe.
Absolutely.
So, but that's still also like, the whole body, everything goes through that type of process. So,
process indeed.
right. So the people aren't doing it for free.
Yeah.
So they're teaching us even in that ritual that there's no such thing as spiritual entitlement.
Right.
Whether the Ifa calls for it or the whatever reading or divination,
Energy exchange. Fair energy exchange.
right? It has to be fair energy exchange. And so a lot of times too, that people don't understand that the initiation is just the beginning. Initiation.
Sure.
So just by initiating, right? There's even requirements I know as far as Ifa, that even after the core of the initiation is done, there's other little things that have to be done, in order to kind of like solidify or finalize that particular ritual.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not sure if it's like that in Hoodoo.
Well, in hoodoo, that there is not a technical initiation. However, there are initiations for family, and there are particular. And I'd like to say that what initiates many of us is the experience that our family generation has
I
had.
should.
And so the way other clothes practices. Notice I said other clothes practices as hoodoo is closed. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, and other clothes.
I'm gonna need some clarity on that.
I,
I'm reading it right now. I want you to finish. I want
okay.
some. I want some clar. Yeah, I want some clarification on it. It's not for me. It's for
Yeah. Okay. So
for America.
for America. Okay. So there are a lot of appropriators, and there are a lot of culture vultures. Okay. As me or many African American hoodooists, if I can use that term, generational families, that's our cultural experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in order to be able to tap into that energy, you have to have a level of experience in it or bloodline experience into it, cultural experiences.
That word has a U in it.
Okay, and so many appropriators do not have that generational cultural experience.
Okay.
Okay, so to say that it is free and open for anybody to practice is a lie.
Ooh.
Okay.
Gave me goosebumps again.
Glory.
I can feel it.
And it's a lie. And I don't know what you said. Thank you for all the gifts. Oh, that's I read what the producer said. You can speak. Say something. No.
Yeah, she'll want to.
Oh, repeat what I said. What I said. I don't. For the people in the back.
For the people in the back.
Okay.
And for the
it's
people
closed.
way out there. Right,
okay.
Way out there.
And so we need it. I've had people to be offended in some of the classes, and I've sent them their money back. But what I need to happen for a person to be able to tap into the energy of hoodoo, right? We're talking about the energy through experience and time, right? Generationally, I need you in an initiation to experience all of the trauma that African Americans have had to experience 400 years or more of it, from pre-transatlantic slave trade until civil rights, and today, all those experiences that have shaped our DNA or have touched us in some sort of way. I need you to have that initiatory experience so that then you can say you can practice hoodoo. If you have not had that, doesn't matter if we were poor, we came from a poor family, my grandmother didn't have a lot of
directly or indirectly,
right.
some type
right.
of experience based on those events.
Absolutely. So it's closed to people with outside of those experiences.
I say. So something that I like that you said, and and you articulated it very well.
Did I?
Yes, it's about lineage.
Absolutely. It's about lineage.
So you have that hoodoo lineage
Mm-hmm.
that you're a part of,
Yes.
and now you also have our lineage
Absolutely.
that you're a part of.
I do.
So I'm a prince.
You are.
My dad is a prince. My brothers are princes.
Yeah.
My sisters are princesses.
Mm-hmm.
Omoba, granddaddy,
Mm-hmm.
was
Mm-hmm.
king. So the founders of a showboat. So you're adding one aspect of your lineage in America
Mm-hmm.
with another aspect of your lineage in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's powerful in itself.
Absolutely.
And so we think about it too. For me, just sitting here thinking about it, taking it all in, it's like, we believe there's two halves. There has to be at least two halves for completion.
Yeah. Two have at least in order to have a whole.
Right.
Okay.
So one by itself is not, and then three can be off balance.
This is true.
Or stability. So if we have at least two halves,
Mm-hmm.
the birds have how many legs?
Two.
How many wings do they have?
Two.
How many eyes do they have?
Two.
How many nostrils?
Two.
How many ears?
Two.
How many of the same bone on each half of the body?
One on each side.
Which will be
two.
Bend. So we need this for symmetry, for balance.
For balance.
Right? And so being able to
birds have two eyes. Popeye.
And look at like okay,
tweet,
so the bird got so it's
they look birds look like this.
Yes, it's a one-eyed crow.
One-eyed crow.
Like, you can't miss it.
Yes.
That's one of my bird totems. Crow.
Oh, one-eyed crow.
One note.
Okay.
My crow's got two eyes.
Okay. It's balanced.
Yeah, it's balanced.
See there. Okay.
So this is how Romeo used to travel with the crow.
I see.
So when we sometimes we have those old wives tales about crows. Just remember, it might be spirit of some energy moving about,
they like
one place to another.
Move around long.
Loose and fancy free. Oh.
A question. Do we have any questions?
So let me say one thing.
One thing. No.
So,
okay, go ahead.
All right, Iyakere, petite mother.
Petite mother. Okay.
She's the only one that can override the Alafin.
How?
That's a long story.
Okay,
that's the different story. So experience, tradition, lineage, right? These is Isheshe. Brother. Sister. This is Isheshe. So, Ashe. You have some notes over there. I know you want to do questions.
No, I mean, I can use mine. Okay. Baba, here's my question.
Uh-oh.
How do we hold space for people while still protecting our own roots?
Boundary. Oh, R-Y. Did I misspell it? Boundary. Do you know what that means? You don't know that? You don't know what that means? I need to do it again. Boundry. I spelled it wrong. It's A-R-Y. A-R-Y. Boundary.
Oh, is that what it is? Boundaries?
Yeah. Because I'm trying to sing it. Like
who?
Like Webby. Independent.
Oh, I've never heard of Webby. Who is that?
Do you know what that means? It's Webby. No. Independent. Boosie said, wipe me down.
Wipe me down. I know that one. Wipe me down. So, y'all forget I'm 60. I don't know who y'all talking about. Who are you talking about?
You're speeding because it's a 45 mile an hour zone right here.
Okay. You're not.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
When you use the board.
What's the purpose in having an engineer?
That would make sense, right?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah. You can talk. Yeah. It's us.
Yeah. So
we over here. We having a party.
So, can you ask your question again?
Yes.
Okay.
How do we hold space for people while protecting our own aura?
So we have to let people show who they are, right? And so like I think coming through the door, especially for me, right? And so people think it's sweet, but it's not.
It's not. It's
it's sweet in the beginning, but like everybody receives the same courtesy coming through the door, and so you're like we should do that, and then as people show their um, adeptness or to show their willingness to learn, respect these other types of things, then we can kind of like um, relax the boundaries. But it's all based on on character and conduct, protocols, things like that. And so like people feel even with me right that because I initiate them that I owe them something. And I do, right? I owe them the truth. I owe them to do their rituals and give them the right advice, but not everybody's willing to hear the truth at the same. Everybody don't come through the door expecting right to hear the truth, right? Especially if they've been somewhere where it wasn't given the truth. So then, if you're not given the truth, then you're kind of not held accountable to it. You understand what I'm saying? If you told a lie, there's no accountability, right? There's no consequence. If I mislead you with something, right, and there's no consequence to you. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, there could be some level of consequence.
Well, no. So just say if I say if I tell you I'm a babalawo, but I read with cowrie, right?
Okay.
Right. I'm still gonna do the reading, but you're gonna be like, hold on, babalawo's gonna read with cowries. You don't, in a sense, you don't receive any obstacle behind that because you're not the one that made the assertion. It would be me.
Okay.
So I mean, like that. So, but if I tell you, hey, this is the standard, babalawo's cast with opele. So when you see me cast with opele consistently or iking, it reaffirms that rule. So there's no consequence. But for the next person to say, oh, I'm a babalawo and I read with cowrie shells, what you gonna do? You're gonna hold them accountable.
Yeah.
So things like that that's what I mean. If you don't know the right way in the beginning, you don't know the right way. If I mislead you with the wrong thing, how can you hold me accountable to it? You can't. It's once you learn the truth that you can then begin to hold people accountable. So it even applies to other types of practices, the other rituals, the offerings, how we read the different odus and things like that, how we implement the protocols and things like that. All that matters about getting the truth. And so there's a lot of people out here that are in a rush for success, priests and priestesses that are in a rush for success and not meeting the standard of what they're supposed to be doing. So they have they are the client or the omwawo or whoever, right, has a right. They're entitled to that level of energy, right? So I don't want people to kind of like understand what we're saying. Oh, they don't have to do nothing. They saying you don't have to do nothing. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that there's a certain level of expectation. There's a certain level of energy that we owe you, and that's the truth. But above that, right, it's based on the individual's conduct, character, how adept they are, integrity.
Yeah.
It's both. It's how we act and how we act. Internally and externally.
Yeah.
And so, we got to make sure that we set those boundaries up and that they're clear. And because I ain't with that. Like, I ain't with that. Like, I got
what
falsehood.
Okay. I just want to make it clear.
Falsehood, and so you
might not like being with the tuna sandwich.
Yeah, I like turkey bacon.
There's such thing as oxymoron.
No.
Turkey bacon.
No, you got 4 leg and 2 leg you eating on the same sandwich.
Turkey.
Turkey and bacon. Two different meats.
Okay, that's better.
You can't get bacon from a turkey.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Turkey bacon. What the heck?
You get pseudo turkey bacon. It looks like turkey.
Pseudo turkey bacon.
I'm saying, I like what
I
you.
don't want pseudo turkey bacon.
The pseudo
Bacon
or,
is another food group.
yeah, yeah. Ben, you got you got your bird on there. You got your pig on there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato, onion, pickle. You know what I mean? Yep, salt and pepper. I never, flame boiled turkey sandwich. That sounds good.
It does sound good.
Flame broiled. So we need some of that hamburger grease to drop on that too. No, just the grease. Just the grease.
No, and okay. No, it's okay.
So how can you recognize when somebody's trying to take advantage of your energy?
Oh, Sage said something. How do you disconnect people from your energy expeditiously?
So, you want to answer first?
Raw.
That's a good question.
Well, see, my Taurus self.
Oh, mess with the bull, get the horn.
Okay, so once I have determined that this is not good for me, it is immediate disconnection. I remember that. Remember when you used to have a telephone, you used to slam the phone down? You want to speak to Mr. Click?
Yeah. DJ Click, yeah. Yeah, DJ Click. Yeah. Mr. Telephone Man, is something wrong with my line? When I call my barber's number,
I get a click every time.
Yeah. I like that one.
Yeah, you do.
I'm trying to tell you.
He don't hang up though.
Who? I do.
Oh yeah.
I don't hang up. I say a double.
You do. You just cut people off in the middle of the conversation.
Yeah, a double. I ain't got time for that. Don't call me crying. It's a wasted emotion. You should be using that. Yeah, crying.
Oh, Baba, you gotta be sensitive.
I am. That's why I'm gonna listen for 5 minutes.
God almighty. No.
But I'm saying if it's like reoccurring. If it's
okay. Like one of the people go to the altar all the time crying for the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, come on, man, you know that's your fault.
Like, get healing, get your furtherance.
Yeah, call me when you finish.
Okay.
It's a wasted emotion, especially sometimes people be crying. Okay, it's a learned response to things they don't like, and so in those moments, let me say that in those moments, I don't have time for it. Okay. If something legitimately is going on and the person is hurt, of course. But what I'm saying, don't you've been my own wolf for 8-9 months. And so,
and I done told you 6 or 7 times not to do that.
Yeah, and you do it. Don't call me crying, literally. Yeah.
Or, why you crying? Yeah. Oh, because okay. Well, I'll talk to you later. Work it out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no, I gotta. I gotta give Efa some opium.
I gotta see a man about the dog.
I gotta give Efa some opium before you. I'll call you back when I finish.
Because they're not being
accountable.
Not accountable. Not heeding to the instructions and directions. And I tend to be more nurturing and mothering, so I tend to listen. But there is a cutoff point that I do have, because then I get a little not soft and a little fiery, and then people often say that I'm not gentle. But it's after I've told you 7-11 times.
They got 99-cent Slurpees tomorrow. Ain't it Tuesday?
Tuesday. Dang, we just huh? What do I do when? When I literally, I don't have any protocols for it. I can't tell you how to wash it off, make a bath. I just don't answer the phone. I don't answer your phone call. And if I do, it's 1 or 2 word messages. That's the end of that.
Keeping it short.
That's it. Now, I don't have nothing grand and wonderful to say about it. Because.
What you trying to say?
No, I'm just saying, I don't. Because, there's a way. There's a thing. People say, well, what do you do? How do you, what is the next step? My steps, those are my steps. My step is not talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. We not having no conversations, and then at some point you'll understand. I think she mad at me, or listen. I don't want to hit it. We'll get to the point. So normally, it is a level. It's having to. One of the things I learned in ministry training was to get people, direct people, or meet them at the point of their need, which is this, horizontal plane that we're on. Meet them at the point of their need, redirect them so that you can then elevate them up. So now, once I'm here with you and I've listened or we've worked through this stuff, then I'm going to redirect you. Well, what you gonna do about it? Are we gonna talk about it? You gonna complain about it? You gonna whine about it? How many times you gonna do that? That's it.
I like
And
cheese
so
with my wine.
you,
Crackers.
you like the charcuterie? Oh, but that gives you the pepperoni breath.
It's okay because you're drinking wine behind.
But you burped it back, and
So
it smelled like salami, bologna.
It's possible.
But,
It's possible.
I mean, I don't have a protocol for it. I really don't. And maybe I ought to create one, step-by-step protocol, and how to tell you to mind your own damn business.
You know, I have to. So the thing about like the E5 reading, right? It'll give me insight into who the person is. So it tells about the actions of the person before it happens, right? So
Yeah.
it could be taboos, different types of taboos. Don't cheat, don't lie, don't repay good with evil, and so we have to take those. It could be that something like that is happening to the person, or the person exhibits those qualities.
And
Right. So if I, sometimes it'll tell you to be honest. Continue to be honest. Oh, you're a good person. If I says that, but don't argue with anyone. So if I says you're a good person, but if they say the wrong thing, if they do the wrong thing, then
hop off, Paul, Bobby,
It's not. I try not to. So for me,
discipline.
So for me, I just have to kind of like wait and let it go, right? Because I have to be sure. Because if it wants everyone to make it. It gives us grace in order for us to see the error of our ways. But then, we know what the outcome of a bow is. Osun Meji. Remember, it talks about the mouse and the cat. The mice invited the cat in order to make peace with the cat. So the cat and the mice both offered a bow. The mice offered a bow so they could make the cat their friend. They would have said, "Don't do it." It's not going. The cat offered a bow so it would be able to dominate the mice. So the cat offered the bow, so the cat will forever dominate the mice. And so we can see the outcome of that. So we have to allow ourselves the time and space to learn, and so we don't do things that's catastrophic. Because whether we offer a bow or not, sometimes the thing that happens is lifelong. So this is how we get some of those things right. What you did in the past life, what you didn't do in the past life, did you come to rectify it, and those type of things. So with if I think it's a little bit deeper, but it makes you a little bit more vulnerable because you don't necessarily all the time have that luxury. And so even with initiate people, we have it's a lifelong commitment. The person will definitely recognize us in the next life, right? So, but being able to kind of like allow people to be them, even though we know what the OG says, right? You receive an OG like Ejiope, my favorite one. Iwaju o Lopan race. Diapon o Lumila. Basa wolo si ite asoto. Ebony one ko ase inje kaso tito kaso dodo agbato satito nimo. It says that the people will cast the phone, offer a bow, but not follow the taboos.
I was gonna say something smart, but keep going.
Go ahead.
No, I ain't gonna say it. I was like, time I shoot.
It's too funny. It's too funny.
Go ahead.
So it says that people will give lip service. They'll do part of the thing, but they won't do the part that nobody sees. So to cast the Ipan off of the bow is something that everyone will see. Everyone will take part in. But when it comes to do those personal things, the people won't change. So it tells us that Ipan will snatch back them blessings.
Okay.
And so like sometimes it's in this life, sometimes it's in the next life. Sometimes our children will be the ones who take bear the brunt from that. And so, like, on that hand, like, E5 gives you grace, but it is the consequences or the ramifications behind those things can be long, more long lasting than we anticipate. And so, because of that, there is, more patience that is required, when dealing with that. But if you misbehave, I'm gonna sanction you.
And what does sanction mean?
You will ask EFI, right? It could be certain things, right? Apologize could be one.
Okay, apology.
Formal apology could be another. There's different things, right? You might need to cast EFI off for a vote to apologize and things like that. These different things. It could just be, hey, a warning, but but we have to. There has to be some structure because without it, right? If I let the thing go, it could be harmful to other people. Right? It could be harmful to other people, and so I'm just not with that anymore. I went through all those years, 12 years of,
lack of structure.
Well, trying to implement it and learning it myself, discipline.
Okay.
Because I don't want to stand in the way. So, I'm not gonna let. I've come too far now. It's 12 years at E5. My family is a well-known lineage. I don't want to have nothing to do with E5. But guess what? Guess who won that one?
E5.
E5 won.
Yeah.
So
I can say that myself.
Yeah. So having that experience, right? I have my mom in my first half of my life. I have my dad in my second half of my life. And so it's balance. We talked about that earlier. But trying to find balance when you're dealing with Omaha and clients, right? A certain level of compassion. But then you'd be like, man, what
the heck?
Come on, man. Like, you can't see it. I can see it, but they may not be able to. And so, because of that, we have to be a little more tolerant.
Tolerant.
And stern.
And, yeah.
They're like, Bobby, you don't tell us everything right away because you'll be thinking about it constantly. You won't be able to function and do other things because these things, when my blessing coming? When this thing coming? When that thing coming? Am I facing this challenge? Am I facing that challenge? Because it may not be literal, depending on the reading. It may not be that literal, depending on the orientation, things like that. So, a little more, not saying that.
Sage says, what if it feels like they are siphoning your energy? What should you do?
So, you don't have to answer the phone per se, but like nobody can really steal your energy. It's right. It's about the decisions we make, right? It's what we give. And so, like, and so, people think like you can steal someone's destiny or you can steal someone's blessing.
I've heard that.
It's not possible. That's like me saying, "Oh, I'm gonna steal your Ashe." I'm a Babalawo. What do I need with? I don't want to be an Iyanifa. It's not gonna serve me.
Was that? But when they say your destiny, does it mean that you will lose or not attain the things that you're supposed to attain or have or
no?
Supposed to go?
So this glass, your days, your hair wrap, your dress, your necklace, your earrings, all those things are witnesses to your destiny.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I understand.
So if anyone takes those things, right, then they take the negative aspect of your life that may have been attached to those. So some we all been through some less savory things.
Okay.
Right? So in order for you to have those earrings, you had to go through those less savory things.
Okay.
You also had to bury your children as well.
Okay.
You had to do all that. You had to have your initiations. You had to have your experience, your expertise in order to wear those earrings.
Okay.
Do you understand?
So could I say then that for those who would want to attempt to do that whatever they attempt to try to siphon, that they also reap the benefit of the negative?
There's no benefit from the negative.
That's my point.
So we have to make sure that they understand. So you don't have to worry about anyone siphoning your energy. Just make the decision not to give energy. That's picking up the phone. That's material support, the emotional support, and things like that. Yeah, I know it sounds easier said than done.
Yeah. But what about leeches? I mean, vampiric type of people and energies that come up. But I mean, you still do the boundaries that that are crossed. But there are people.
Grace. So
there are people that do.
you receive grace from that, right? Because you're already aware that, hey, I need to set a healthy boundary right here. So in that process, right, this is when you learn the alchemy.
Yes.
Right? So you learn how to recognize certain energy.
Yes.
And to evoke a response.
Yes.
That's alchemy.
Yes.
Right? So you get grace from that process.
Okay. So this is what I do.
It's
gonna be nice.
Do we want to know?
Yes, it's gonna be nice.
Okay.
But I didn't want to cut you off. Did you? Okay.
No, it's all right.
So what I'm learning to do, because again, we talked about how hard it is with family and loved ones. It's difficult sometimes with setting those boundaries. But as we grow and we recognize that these things are happening, that we're feeling siphoned from, or that we're feeling like our energy is being tapped into, first we need to recognize that boundaries are not for other people, boundaries are for us.
I see.
And then people also do not have to respect your boundaries. So because people often do not respect the boundaries that you set for yourself, then you draw laws. These are the law. This is the law.
It's lit,
right? Yeah. That you cannot cross, right? Huh? So then after that,
sorry, smile.
I know.
That's my gang. Don't do that. It just don't go well with copper.
Okay, but I gotta have on silver.
No ring. You know, them witchy. You know.
Oh, they are.
Them witchy. Look, this one. So this is what I see. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. So look, this is your blessing finger, and you see how it goes. So you harness the energy from the moon right there, and the stars, and the other accumulate, and then you go shoot it out with that one finger. So you can be like, Harry Potter carried his wand in his right hand.
Yes.
Right. Right. So this your wand.
It is my wand.
Right. For blessing.
Yes.
You want to see? Let me show you your other wand.
Which one you want?
This one, the long one. I'm just playing.
I don't get it. What I will say though is when you're dealing with energies that siphon from you, again the boundaries, but there's level of protection. The protections of what you need to put into place. Those are the absolute stops. Whatever you need to do, whether it's for us, it's fiery, over here it's fiery walls, or whether it's something at your threshold, or whether it's something that you wear, or if it's your prayers, your connections. There has to be a stop sign or do not cross sign or symbol that you employ, so that people will not go beyond or will not have the ability to go beyond those boundaries, go into a taboo of sorts.
I just tell them, what did the hand say to the face? Can you hit that?
Oh, she's slow.
Yeah.
She was drinking.
Yeah. She been drinking.
Look at she. Did she?
Oh, here you need.
Did she give us a cuss word? Oh, look at your picture, Bob. I'm looking at the phone. Isn't that a nice cup?
It's a nice cup.
Okay.
Holla at myself or Ifa Kaya Sola. I was gonna say Omawo Awo Ianifa to be soon. Ifa Kaya Sola.
Look at it. Say what? What?
I mean?
So Lux Lady says, why do men wear watches on the left? Oh, okay, on the left.
We was having that conversation earlier, and so it's your heart, right? So if we think about, okay, let me give it to you like this: the right hand is your blessing hand, and your left hand is your receiving hand, or your right hand is your sending hand, your left hand is your receiving hand.
Yeah.
Right. So when we send energy out, we give blessing and things like that with the right hand. So when we offer obi and we do different rituals, we use the right hand. Right. When we receive medicine and things like that, we'll take them with the left hand. So that's kind of like the difference. So in order that they don't receive the wrong thing at the wrong time, people will wear the watch on the other hand, or they'll wear it on the left hand and won't wear any kind of leke or anything on that. So they will always have time. They'll receive everything in time. So it just depends on how you look at it. There's some other reasons that we won't discuss here, but that's I guess a suitable answer at this time.
Yeah, that'll work for right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're speaking about again setting certain boundaries and things like that. I said something about a little bit about the alchemy and making the switch. As soon as we recognize that there's something going on, Idinimo is the word. Yeah, is the word for recognition. As soon as we make the recognition of something, that's when the change occurs.
Absolutely.
So,
amen goes there.
With hoodoo, you know, from what you said, whether you put things at the door or you do these different things, now you're using the ritual for earth magic in order to support what the Ori or the spirit has already recognized and changed it to be. That's Ifa. It's just a different type of covering. You know, I don't think
that's how it's done in Ifa.
Yeah, as well. But we'll cast to see what the prescription is. You know, and so it changes. You know,
there are aspects that are different, but the baseline of it,
I think is exactly the same.
Oh, that's interesting because I teach my students about as above, so below. Was that Hermes Trismegistus in his Emerald tablets?
Or even the Merkaba with the masculine triangle is up and the feminine is down.
Right, and so understanding that things come from heaven to earth, right?
You're talking my language, girl.
Hello, somebody.
I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
Can I get a?
Can you get a what? Can you get a clap?
We don't have it. Woo woo.
But it comes from here first,
Benny.
you know, right? So when you're casting or doing workings, you know, it comes from the ethereal realm, the spiritual realm, and it comes through time, so to speak, and then it manifests in the natural, in the 3D, when you create the thing. And so one of the aspects of one of the things that you can recognize in doing that, taking it from the ethereal or from heaven and bring it to earth, is when you write. Hello, somebody.
I'm trying to tell you, that's the way it is.
Yes, absolutely, because it's here first. And because you have had, training in how to formulate letters and all this kind of stuff. But what you do is
talking Bible language.
Right? Is that your language?
Yes, I'm trying to tell you.
And so you take that thought or those things that are here, and then you translate it through your experience, and you write it on your paper, and you make it a solid reality, just like you would do with water. Now, I'm going to talk about water. I'm going to mess you up. Let me stop you right there,
because I don't want you to get too far ahead of me. So I got a question.
Okay, go ahead.
So when you're writing, are you using your right hand or your left hand?
Well, I'm right-handed, so I use my right hand.
Right, but would you advise people to use their right hand or their left hand when they write these things down? We just talked about blessing, right, with the right hand and receiving with the left hand. So I don't know if that's formally a part of that structure. You know?
Well, for us, for the way I do things, I would, whatever your dominant hand is, that's the one you write with, because I can't write with my left.
Probably not legibly.
It's not legibly. However, I do factor in what I'm doing. So whatever it is that I'm writing, whether it is, well, we'll always say it's blessings. That's we're gonna keep it.
So everybody, hold on. Everybody say we're gonna use our right hand. When we blessing.
Okay.
Easy thing to add to your ritual, right? And very intentful because you're trying to bless.
Absolutely. So that's if you're doing the blessing.
But if you do it, I'm a babala. So I'm gonna say the right hand.
Okay. There are other things that you do. And that's called the left hand.
Yeah, I do stuff. Yeah, I do. I use both.
Ashe, me too. Okay then. So moving right along. Okay.
So let me say this. So I just want to recap this. So you receive your divine inspiration, your download. Through where? Your crown chakra?
Yep.
Even what's the one above the head?
I don't know the one above.
But there's a one above.
Up there.
So we agree. But so
up there.
Up there. Up there. Like the upper room. So you receive divine inspiration. Whatever knowledge, download, right? It comes through your body to your right hand. right? Because it passes through your brain.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know how to write.
Write it.
I write the same way with left hand and right hand. You can't read either one of them.
This is true.
So
El Doctor.
yeah.
Okay.
So and then I would throw pele
Mm-hmm.
with my right hand.
Uh-huh.
Right. I throw obi with my right hand. So it's the same concept when Benny. So
same concept.
It's the same concept.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ori is there, is present with it's Iyami that gives the Babalawo the taboo,
Mm-hmm.
right, to give to the client.
Uh-huh.
It is Orumila that gives the way of blessing
Mm-hmm.
to the client. But all these things are brought through the Ori,
Mm-hmm.
and it's controlled by the body. So even we may not notice the way that we throw the opele,
mm-hmm.
But these nuances are these micro movements, basal nuclei of the brain.
What? Say the word again.
It was two.
It's a basal nuclei. Okay.
Right. It's the
that's a big word.
Or dura mater, the dark parts of the brain or the parts of the brain that stop muscle contraction. Mm-hmm. So people with Parkinson's have a problem with that part of the brain.
Come on, friend.
Oh yeah, nursing student and all that.
What?
Oh yeah, my ADN, but I couldn't do it because I had a felony.
Well, that's all right. Those are experiences.
Yeah. So yeah, but
what?
You talk about because I said felony.
No, I'm just saying those are just our experiences.
Oh, I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but understanding that and those minute movements and things like that are affected or that will affect the divination.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you're either gonna be right on or you're gonna be way off. And so, even orientation and those things matter. It's a system which we use, but it's the same thing that you do when you're doing hoodoo. So I think that's kind of dope too. Yeah, it's drawing those correlations. So.
Yeah, I mean it's awesome to see.
I didn't even know that. To be honest with you, I thought, man, y'all just be wide open.
I know you did.
The conversations we had in Africa.
Yeah.
He's like, Baba, leave me alone.
Yeah. like that's not it. Yeah, but it's true. Yeah, but there's a lot of similarities. And then it's wonderful because sometimes, because of the disconnect from our ancestry in a way. Well, not in a way. The disconnect from our ancestry and how we've had to reconstitute or reformulate using the things that we had that were accessible. Some things, of course, are going to be a little bit different. It's like, making a doggone cake instead of you don't have no eggs or no milk.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. I don't like them.
You don't like
no, I don't like applesauce cookies. I don't like that.
Okay, yeah, me either, actually. But I'm just saying. But that's kind of what you gotta work with what you have, and that's a lot about what hoodoo is like. Yeah. You work with the things that you have, what's at hand, and you take them and you create the things that you desire, right? And so, there's a lot of divination going on with hoodoo, but there's also a lot of pocket workings that are separate. But there's a lot of
so we do that though. We in Ifa, Sheshe, there's certain things that we have to have as part of our makeup, right? We have to have the foreleg. So anybody out there that has had Ebo done without a foreleg, you're not properly treated. Ask me how I know.
How you know, Baba?
Because we the Iami. We the Iami. The mothers. Okay, so.
Huh? What's foreleg? Okay.
Foreleg
animals.
Foreleg animals. Anything on the foreleg. What that lady say during Thanksgiving? She said ram,
lamb.
Yeah, all those things are Evo material.
Yeah, they actually are.
So all those things, so with the the food is not separated from the religion. Mm-hmm. So it's the same thing that we feed ourselves. We feed the entity, the Orisha. Mm-hmm. So Iyami means my mother or our mother, right? So we have the same mother.
Absolutely.
We have the same father.
Absolutely.
Right? Even if we want to believe Adam and Eve, okay. Just for the Christians out there. Mm-hmm. But we will all originate from the same place.
Same mother and father.
So, but our mothers, so Iyadudu is the black mother. It comes from Edu, which is the word black. So Dudu means black. She was
Like
black.
doo-doo.
She was black.
Yeah, black. Beautiful black.
Yeah, beautiful black. So what happened was in the Odu, I want to say it's I want to say it's Oturpon Rete. Orumila used to come to Oshogbo and stay in Ile
Mm-hmm.
So he would go into Iyadudu and cast Ifa.
Mm-hmm.
So he would go into our compound in Oshogbo and he would cast Ifa for Iyapupa.
Iyapupa. Red.
So it was taboo. You know, back in the day, we'd be like, "Hey, come here, Red. What's going on?" It's taboo.
Really?
Right.
No red bone.
Yeah, none of that.
None of
She
that.
didn't like that.
Okay.
And then she was an Egbe priestess, and so she knew all the appeasements for Egbe.
Mm-hmm.
So she was worthy of respect, just like you worthy of respect. You know a lot of appeasements. You understand what I'm saying? So people better be like, "Oh, Miss Sophia, in your knee file." Like, you know,
trying to tell people.
Danny, you know, I may be your Baba, but you my elder. So I have to make sure, you know, even when I'm frustrated.
I know. I get on his nerves. I work his nerves.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So they changed the name from Iya Pupa to Iyadudu. So like we have to think about what are the types of Iyami.
Okay.
What colors are what types of the Iyami? The major three types.
Red, white, and black.
So Iya Pupa would be what?
Red.
Then they changed her name to what Iyadudu, which would be what?
The black.
And so typically, what do you have on today?
Blue. Oh, white.
White.
Mm-hmm.
So we offer with blood, right? Mm-hmm. We make sacrifice. We offer with blood, right? In the defense of others. That's the black, right? Because you know, and then we behave in the manner of the white. So a lot of
and explain the white. We behave in the manner of
the white because it's about blessing. It's about ire, right? It's we are accepting the positive, higher elevated energy. We try to be in our elevated chakras, our crown chakra, and things like that. We utilize on our third eye, those elevated energies. We try to stay there, right, even in adversity and things like that. So we try to emulate that. That's Obarameji.
Obarameji.
Yep. Kame fun kapito.
Kame fun kapito.
Le. Aje. Kamedu. Sorry. Kame fun. Kapito. Le. Aje. Kamedu. Kapito. Le. Ileke. Kamosun. Kapito. Le. Asho. So it says that the mothers bring prosperity. They bring abundance, right? Position, because that's what the elekes, the medallions, and those things mean. It's a particular position. You will not receive an eleke, ifa eleke, until you do isefa.
That's true.
You will not receive elekes in Nigeria until you do those initiatory processes. So then,
no, you can just buy them at the botanic.
You can buy them at 7-Eleven. You can. You can buy them at the truck stop. I'm trying to tell you.
I'm just gonna leave that alone.
I'm trying to tell you. But then Asho, right? Asho is the beautiful adornment. It protects us from even the sun.
Absolutely.
So these different things. This is what the Iyami is responsible for, and this is what we try to do. What our mission is. Iyadudu Temple. You know, we are rooted in Oshogbo, with Lahami Ruling House, Oyipi Ethnic Group.
Hold on. The
Lahami.
I just couldn't say it right. Lahami.
Yeah, Lahami.
Ruling House.
Yes.
So say it again. Go back, Baba.
Lahami.
No, Oshogbo.
Okay. I don't know what part.
You said we are the something of Oshogbo.
Founders. So my family is one of the founding part of the founding family, or the branch of the founding family of the Oshogbo. And so like even like the current king, I think he's been king for 17 to 18 years. My dad was the one who cast me by when he was Ojibona for him to be king, and he's had a long reign. And so my uncle now is the Ojibona. So my dad's second wife. Yes. My dad's second wife's brother is the Ojibona. So, you know, we kind of all up in there. They all royal family some way. or another. So
somebody saying yo, yo shoko. Is that what it
O
Oh
Shobo,
shoko.
OSOGBO.
Mm-hmm.
The S is like sh, O Shobo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a mess in the spiritual streets, you know. But you know, um, you know, in in our house we got the Patreon, we have the Patreon. There's certain things that's like some misconceptions, and so this is what people have to be aware of, right? We should all be casting Ifan off our bow every month, every 17 to 21 days. So people would do that, but they would do it on an individual basis. What we do is we offer it for a community, and it reduces the cost considerably.
Mm-hmm.
And so the information and things like So you think about it costs $500 or $600 to cast file off for a bow.
Mm-hmm.
But when we share it amongst the group, right? So when you do it, well, of course, it protects your household, your kids, your grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that for everybody who kind of like who shares in that. So they get to write up and things like that.
Oh, bye. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, sweetheart.
So y'all be safe.
Be safe.
So
come back. Okay.
So being able to share in that and share the cost, you still get the credit for it, right? And it's just maintenance.
Okay.
But making sure people stay covered and things like that, that's very important.
Bring me that dress.
So, but we offer 4 legs, right?
Uh-huh.
So people offer a bow and don't offer a 4 legs.
Uh-huh.
You can't, the Iami doesn't eat birds. A lot of people try to do that. A lot of people will feed the Iami birds.
Mm-hmm.
The mothers.
No, yeah.
The
no,
they don't do that. That's not proper.
Mm-hmm.
And so they abhor it, right? So you think about it, right? You're trying to have your spirit take flight to bring about change, but you're gonna kill the animal that's to help it take flight.
Yeah. Eggs.
Does
that include eggs?
So eating eggs, right? So the thing of so no woman should offer ipese. Right? Women should not offer ipese. So let's go over that. So because it kind of ties into what we're talking about.
Okay.
In Osameji,
yeah,
for the old woman. Yeah. So ipese, in Osameji, it is Orumila, right? The Babalao is the only one that can offer ipese. So women cannot offer ipese.
What is an ipese?
It's the entrails of the 4-legged animal. It's the feeding of the Iami. And so when we cast Ifan off our bow, this is one thing that we do comprehensively. So we feed the negative forces of the Iami in order for it to leave the person alone. And then we feed the positive aspects of those energy to help usher in blessing.
Absolutely.
So you think about it, right? You being a mama, mean mama.
Sometimes.
Not today, though.
But not today.
You're supposed to be mean today.
I was trying to be mean, but I was listening.
Like, okay. I like it. So, ipese is the entrails.
Oh, you finally got you some.
They don't want to say that.
They don't want to say it. Okay.
It'll choke me right on up. Stay out my throat. Chop my Ogun. I need your Ogun. So everybody know what chitlins are.
Chitlins.
You know what chitlins are?
I do.
Did you eat any?
I did a long time ago.
Some hot sauce. I sure enough hated when they was cleaning them. But they was good.
I don't want no dookie shoe.
Yeah. I gotta make sure this is not for kids.
Okay.
So the entrails of the animal. So this is what they used to give us, and the slave owners would give chitlins. Why did they give us chitlins? To pacify this energy inside of us. So what happens is when we offer the entrails, the spirit of the mothers will incarnate the animal and have it to eat the food, the ipese. I would say the chitlins. Yeah. And so this is what they were doing to us to make us docile. You understand? So they would feed us. They're using our own culture against us. And so the slave was less likely to flee or do these different things, right? They compromise themselves. So, but we offer this pese to the Iyame for blessing, and so, but you can't get that from a bird.
Not the chitlins.
Not the chitlins. You can't get it. It's not enough. How many birds would you have to offer
in order to get
a
a handful of
even just a handful? That's 3 birds at least, because then the birds in Nigeria are smaller, so the intro.
Are they smaller?
Yeah. A chicken in the United States is about 3 times bigger than that.
That's because of all the hormones.
So, doing this and placating or appeasing these energies, right, is a part of it. So sometimes, like what discussion, about entitlement and things like that, it's like people have to know their lane. Women are not entitled to do that because the Odu specifically say that it's Orumila. So in Osameji, Obatala stole the wife of the male child of the Iyami. So the Iyami got after Obatala. So Obatala went to Ogun. Ogun said, "Get out of here, I can't help you." He went to Shango. Shango said, "Get out of here, I can't help you." He went to the other Orisha until he finally got to Orumila, and the sword that Obatala has is called Adasa. He gave it to Orumila. It's a sword made from silver.
Okay.
So remember when we talk about creation, when those 4 Orumila came from heaven and earth, it was Ogun that had to come first because Obatala's sword was too soft. I think it was some fly stuff, but that's a whole other conversation. Like, I ain't gotta do what you do with Ogun. You know what I mean? It's pretty much. So I'm Obatala. Can't get my wife dirty.
Right.
So
I'm too clean.
Yeah, I'm too clean. I'm like a chameleon. Right. Come on, chameleon.
You skip the whole.
Okay, sorry. So I don't know where we at though. I know.
Okay, go ahead.
So Obatala gets to Orumila, and Orumila casts Ifa, offers a bow, but the Ifa says that Orumila must put gum or glue around the calabash for the ebo.
Okay.
So that when the Iyami come to eat the ebo, Orumila can take Obatala's sword and chop the heads off of the Iyami.
Because they'd be stuck on the glue.
So this tells us, right? It wasn't Oya, it wasn't Shango, it wasn't Ogun, it wasn't Osun that was the one who was able to kill the Iyami. Follow me?
Yeah, I'm following.
So it wasn't Oya or Oshun that killed the bird. It was Orumila. So it shows us there that women should not kill birds.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I'm saying I told you that Obatala went to Ogun, Shango, and all the other Orisha to have protection from the Iyami. They told him no. It was Orumila that he settled on, and it was Orumila who cast Ifa, offered a bow, and Ifa told him how to kill the Iyami. Okay. So when we're talking about killing birds, because remember the birds came and got stuck to the calabash, right? Who was it who killed the birds? Right. It was Oya.
No.
Was it Oshun?
No.
Was it Yemoya? No. Was it Yemo?
No.
Was it Oduduwa?
Nope.
Who was it? Orumila. Right. So
I'm pointing like he's
right there. Okay. He's right there. It's cool.
I'm just saying.
So yeah. So this is the example that we should use. We do everything based off of Odu. If the Odu don't say it, we don't do it.
Okay, because it's tradition.
Well, it's the energy, right? So what if you got Osameji energy, right? But you want to do something from Oyeku Kalekan, a different Odu. It doesn't fit, right? So this is why we do the reading and we get the energy and it tell us the prescription. So Osameji, we try not to kill birds, right? If you can help it, other than the ebo, try the foreleg, because this is the way to appease the Iyami. With the foreleg, with the entrails. So it tells us that 1, women should not kill birds.
Okay.
right? And
I
this
can't
Odu.
use it with my mighty toe.
Well, you don't have that Odu.
I don't have no.
But remember what you did have.
What did I? I don't remember.
You don't remember when you had Osameji? What you had? I told you about your friend. Meow 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 meow. Right. Do you remember?
Somewhat, yes.
So when we did the reading over there,
Yeah.
you received the information.
Yep.
About the cat.
Yep.
By the time you got home.
By the time I got home.
Where was the cat?
Outside. He said I was gonna come up on a cat, and I'm like, "There no cats around here." I pulled up, and the cat ran in front of the car. Yep.
So for you, right? If that's an example, it's a four-leg. The cat is the first of the Iyami of the four-leg. So that's your familiar.
It is.
That's your familiar. So.
That's who I was calling last night too.
Yeah, we good.
Okay.
I don't gotta know him. All I gotta do is know you.
Okay. Absolutely.
You got friends in low places because the cat. Or high places because
Absolutely, the birds. Did you see all the birds out there?
Yeah. Okay. So this Odu Ifa gives us that insight. So women should not make pesi. Just tell, hey man, make it pesi. You know.
You have to do it.
See, that's power.
Yeah, you do it.
So that's Iyami, and that's how we appease Iyami. There's other ways we appease Iyami, but we have to do the four-legged first. So you can't give eggs, you can't give some of these other things, the okete and stuff like that, unless you have it lined up. So sometimes when I'm doing that bow and I don't mention the four-leg, it won't accept that bow.
Okay.
So when I'm throwing a four-leg,
yep.
So I was like, oh, I forgot to mention the four-leg. I done did the whole elbow, and I got to the end. I done got all the other stuff. I done got the birds. I done got all the echo and the egg bay foods and all that.
What's the echo?
The echo.
No, just like
it's echo is corn pap. It's fermented corn flour, and that's the main staple of the elbow. But they eat it cold. It's like a I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, like a porridge, but they eat it cold. And so when it's hot, it's real loose. As it cools, it kind of gels and solidifies. But so I'll get to the end of the elbow and I'll try to close the elbow. But if I haven't mentioned the animal, it won't accept the elbow. We haven't even got to doing the animal yet, but it won't accept the first part, the elbow ruru, without all the things being present. So there's another Odu Tur Tuka which tells us that we have to say everything. And so but there's four basic things that we need for elbow, and that's the four-legged, that's the birds, and the rats and the fish. Eat this.
Right. I was like, what is this?
Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it.
After you eat it, it's a rat and a fish. Yeah. Oh my God.
But those things, right? And those. So how does that tie into spiritual entitlement? You have to learn, right, in your position. So people want to do things that's not in their position. It tells us in Oshe Tura, again, where Oshun wanted to do the men or the work and building Ayed, when all she needed to do was be present. Prime example, this water. The water just needs to be present. It doesn't have to do anything. Right? It's the cup that you need to do something.
Absolutely.
Right? So when we go to constructing the world, when the Orisha and the Rumala went to constructing the world, they just needed Oshun to be present. That's kind of like she didn't have to do anything. So in Ifa, all we need is for the woman to be present and give Ashe.
She doesn't have to
do anything. She actually should not, because she gives birth. So in this room, who gave birth to you? It's us three in the room, right? So who gave birth to you? Who gave birth to you, Iya? And my mama gave birth to me too. So after that, you don't need to do nothing else, in a sense.
In a sense.
And I'm not saying that you can't, but I'm just saying in that particular.
So I'm gonna need. So I just need to be. Okay. I'll leave that.
Yeah. I'm saying, I can't tell you how to do you. That's never my thing. Because you are here for who you're here for, right? But I'm here for you.
Ashe.
You understand what I'm saying? And so I'm here for you too. I'm here for you too, right? To do those things, right, to help balance the energy. You give life. Why should you take it? Even in a ritual.
Okay, but sometimes you got head busters.
Listen, I'm not. We talking about just the rule, not the exception.
Okay, okay, all right then.
I know you're a head buster.
Yeah, I'm being.
We on the same team. You ain't gotta tell me. I know who you are.
I'm being nice. I was told to make sure that I was nice.
Benny. I know. I don't know somebody else other than you talking about other than us?
No, I'm just saying.
I'm
just saying that I truly have shifted my energy to make sure that I am in alignment with not being
a head
buster.
So you can't say that word with a T.
Buster.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to be no head buster.
Yeah.
Okay.
See how that just roll off?
It doesn't roll off a little bit.
Just skip the tongue.
I have truly not. I don't have to do any of those things. I do talk a little SHIT because I am a Gen Xer. That is our claim to fame. So I will talk a little bit, but even with that, I don't do a lot of it. So all of the stuff that happens, it just happens, but it's not because I'm busting no heads or doing work.
Benny, so the people go get what they receive.
They gonna get what they receive. Hold on. Say it again, Baba.
The people gonna get what they.
Absolutely.
Everybody gonna get paid.
Everybody gonna get paid.
And so, like, sometimes, right, the person can have been doing those things for some extended period of time with what they call success. But when they come along, Ifa, Tommy Lola, or any of her other names, aliases, AKAs, then it ends up being kind of like karma. It's like that with all of us, right? So we can all be in certain positions to help people receive a reward from their job. Well done, whichever job they chose to do.
Yep.
And so, it's best for the people to not deceive themselves and just to go ahead and repent, in a sense, turn away from those things.
Turn away from your wicked ways. Glory. Okay.
So I'm just saying. So Ifa's a little more subtle because Ifa want everybody to make it, but those, like I said, some of those consequences can be longer lasting.
That's a song. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, you're right. So that's. I really don't have to do anything. Sometimes, it's fun to do certain things, but I don't have to do.
I love receiving confirmation.
Absolutely.
I don't rely on it, but I love it.
It feels wonderful to get confirmation. I don't gloat at misfortune, but I definitely like confirmation.
Well, no, because it lets you know. It lets you know that you wasn't wrong in the situation.
Absolutely. It supports. It gives you.
Because sometimes we can have doubt. Because we think, okay, could I have done something differently?
Yeah, I often ask that question. And it aligns us too with entitlement too, right? So sometimes even with our own selves, I guess maybe it might be more ego. We take it upon ourselves to do a particular thing before we understand the parameters around it. We in our own selves step over bounds and boundaries where we don't have to because our ego is in play. And so I often say, before you get rid of your ego, you don't have to do that. You master your ego.
Really?
And so when you master your ego, then you generally make better choices.
Ashe.
Because you're more in Iwa Pele.
Ashe.
And so that, to me, that has a lot to do with accountability, and it has a lot to do with making sure that you are, keeping the balance, right, is what I want to say. So,
You know, so we talked about earlier about right hand and left hand. You
mm-hmm.
know, oh, well, let me say this if there's any more questions.
Okay.
Just making sure that the scales are balanced and that we are receiving um, a return on the energy that we put out. And so, no one should intentionally stand in anyone's way, let alone their own way.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think when we recognize that, those are some of the things too that will help us to set boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about awareness, though.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, about awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
so is there any questions?
Yeah. Do you guys have any questions?
Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Speak now, Lux Lady. Yeah, it's Oshogbo. If you guys have any quick questions, because we started a little late, so we're finishing a little later.
So
thank you for the hearts, and I appreciate all the gifts that you guys gave that I did not see. I'm sorry, because I talk with my eyes closed most of the time, or I look all over, so I miss those sometimes. But what I would like to just reinforce here at this point is to make sure that you understand that your energy is not on your spirit, and your energy is not on demand. Like, just because somebody needs you don't mean you have to respond. Oh, thank you. Now I saw that. Oh, that was nice. Your energy is sacred. All of our energies are sacred.
No one can steal your destiny.
Nobody can steal your
blessings and things like that.
No, you can give it away.
Benny, but if they take from you, then they only take the negative.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Your gift and calling is, the churches say, is without repentance, and people don't have to, coupon you, come, hey, listen, you did this for me. Can you do this for me again on a discount, so to speak? You're not obligated at any point in time to pour out your out of an empty vessel.
Because it takes work.
It takes
energy.
Work. Absolutely. You got to be able to fill yourself back up. Your cup has to be filled as well. You cannot assist people if you take from an empty vessel. So make sure that you pour in the energy into yourself, and make sure you set boundaries. And if not boundaries, even more so, set rules, hard, fast rules. And I think it's also a good practice when you are, as a friend to another friend, or as people to, your bubble out, or your minister, or your Ianifa, is that you often say, do you have space? Do you have space for me at this time? I need to share something or talk to you about something. Can you hold space for me? And then your response should be yes or no, or maybe later, so that you can abide by your own boundaries. Because oftentimes it's not people overstepping our boundaries; it's us, allowing our boundaries, us overstepping our own boundaries. So set boundaries. Make sure you do that. Follow them. Be good to yourself. Be kind to yourself. And no ain't a cuss word.
It's a statement.
It's
a whole sentence.
Whole sentence right there. Yep. Yeah. Baba, is there anything that you're gonna be doing this week or extra?
No. I just want to reiterate who I am and what
Who is you?
I'm a Luo, Latona Ifabileki OJB, Prince of Oshogbo. A Luo of Ile Idingbe. We located here in Charlotte, 2028 Woodland Drive. You can shop with us on Etsy at Iyadudu Botanica. You can, if you want to have any questions, concerns about IFA, you want to learn more about IFA, check us out on Patreon at EY, Iyadudu World Academy. We're on YouTube.
Yeah. What's your YouTube?
I have two, Latona Ifabileke. If you go back and look at that one, you'll see my videos of my transformation over the years into the well-oiled machine that I am today.
No squeaking.
No, my shoes squeak.
And your knees pop too.
That's me jumping out of airplanes.
Jumping out of cars.
Airplanes.
Okay. Yeah, you did say you jumping out of airplanes.
Yeah.
But
EY Iyadudu, on YouTube.
Is that IWA, right?
Yes, ma'am.
IWADUDU?
IWA_IYADUDU Temple. And that's it. We do readings, Ebo, we do Egungun readings, um, Egbe readings, we do Obatala readings, we do Osun readings, we also do those initiations, those half initiations, the Orisha initiations, we do those here in the U.S. Um, Ifa as well, but if there's anything you need to know about Ifa, please feel free to reach out.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as always, my schedule here on TikTok tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be doing Bibliomancy.
I shall.
On Tuesdays, on Wednesdays, our classes resume for our group, Mama Sunfire's House of Hoodoo Masters. If you guys are interested in being a part of the group, it is a monetized group, so remember that every month, okay? Okay, so if you go to the link in my bio, I shall. If you go because we just got through talking about
entitlement,
right.
energy exchange.
Absolutely. There is tier 1, 2, or 3. Govern yourself accordingly. Tier 3, though, I think is the best because it's soft mentorship. And on Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm with Professor J here on TikTok Live. So we have classes coming up. June 27th, I have the class, the Q&A Ask Mama Son. It's a Pick My Brain. People are invited to come in, kind of like this forum here, but we're going to do it on Zoom. And so bring your questions. If you have whatever questions you have, the link is in the bio for that. And on the 29th, our big comprehensive summer comprehensive voodoo 16-week course is coming up.
Lord.
16 weeks of fellowship with you all. This is the third time we've offered this, and so we're looking forward to spending 4 months learning about voodoo comprehensively. And then we have part 1 and part 2. So that
2 parts.
Yes,
it's 2 parts. So I thought it was a lot with 1.
No, it's no. Yeah, 16 weeks for part 1, 16 weeks for part 2.
Should be good and learned.
Good and learned. Absolutely. So we look forward to spending more time with you guys. Come back next week at 3 o'clock p.m. for Mean Mama Monday.
We're going to try to be here at 2:55.
At 2:55? Well, we try to have it together.
Odabo, Ire, Pupo.
Yes.
Is that who saying? Say bye.
Bye, y'all.
Oh.
Okay.